Welcome back to the final seven, our study on the book of Revelation and the final 7 years before the second coming of our Lord Jesus Christ. Today, we are going to talk about all the health statistics going around being talked about today. Um, So, CDC came out with some new numbers updating about the coronavirus um, numbers and death rate, and they got it down to what was it, 1,200, 1,100 um, deaths that were directly associated with COVID, meaning they had no other symptoms. It was just COVID, and it was 1,100. All the other numbers they had related to other symptoms. They had underlying causes of underlying causes, underlying health issues that caused deaths with the COVID. So they couldn't directly blame it on COVID alone. So it was the number that they are talking about now is the numbers that were um, COVID alone and no other underlying issues. So the whole pandemic outbreak that we've experienced, um, we talked about the the one world government. We know that that is um, that is a organization or a what do you call it, a movement that is empowered by the devil. There is a satanic power that is driving this whole idea of the one world government, and we get that from the book of Revelation and Revelation 13, where it talks about the beast, where all the beasts are now have become one beast. And in previous studies, we talked about what nations those beasts are, and then we see in Revelation 13 that they all became one beast, and it was given its seed and its power by the devil. So we know that that whole being movement and that whole way of thinking and that whole way of life that's being forced and pushed upon us is again, according to the Bible, it is giving its seed and its power by the devil. So it is a anti Christ, anti godly um, kingdom that wants to force its way upon the earth. And again, that's just setting the way for um, the antichrist and all the world must vow allegiance to the antichrist by taking the mark of the beast, and then after the mark of the beast, the great tribulation for those who didn't take the mark of the beast, and then the war against Israel, the Israeli Jews, and then the second coming of our Lord. So there's a whole timeline that we're following, and um, that timeline is going to be released soon. It will be released, and I will share that with um, with you if you care to take a look at it. So this whole coronavirus, what happened? So we know that there's the one world government. We talked about that last time, and we showed how the one world government wants to. Um, they're so against Donald Trump because they think because he doesn't want to be part of the one world government. They think he is a um, they think he's a threat to what their plan. They think he's dangerous to their plan, and they want to take him out. And I believe this whole pandemic that's happening is one way of one way of attempting to remove Donald Trump from office. So that one world government, remember we talked about the Great Reset. So this whole reset has to do with this pandemic because that one world government believes that the the earth is overpopulated, that um, they want to remove 9 out of 10 people from the earth. They want to reset the whole global organization and start over. Um, they think that the money is being drained by too many people. Um, so they wanna do the great reset. Let's just reset it. Get rid of more than half of the people in the earth, so we can do our one world government, one money, one religion, everything one, and we can control it easier that way. Um, so that's the whole idea of this one world government and the great reset that's happening. So they tried this. They when we heard um, when we heard talk of the global warming, that was an attempt for everyone to shut down. They tried to scare us with global warming, say we need to cut emissions, we need to cut um, all the electricity, we need to cut it all out because we're ruining our earth. And their idea was to shut us all down. That didn't work. So now they're attempting this, and they're going to keep attempting this because they think, again, they think there's just too many people on the earth, and they're trying to decrease that population number. Um, and if you remember, I don't know if I mentioned this on the Final Seven series, but I have mentioned it in the past that um, Bill Gates is a believer in depopulation. Um, when he gave his TED talk about 10 years ago, he gave a TED talk and he spoke about the world being overpopulated. And he said the fastest way to depopulate the earth is, or the easiest solution, he said, all we have to do is increase the number of vaccines that we're giving. Like, that should have been a wake-up call to the whole world. That should have been headline news to everybody, right? But it wasn't. It was hidden. Um, so this whole depopulation movement is something that is happening and that is being pushed, and they're thinking time is running out. Um, but when Trump pulled us out of um, the Paris Climate Agreement, that whole Paris Climate Agreement is again, it's a whole organization having to do with global warming and how to just cut out everything, our natural resources, our energy, our electricity, our drilling, our oil. It's think about it. If they take away all our energy, our power grid goes down. It's going to get rid of our food source, our heat source, our warming source, our cooling source. Everything will shut down. They believe, or it is even, not only they believe, but it is it has been figured out by the surveyors that people, more than half of the people will die off in with the matter of 6 months. So I think this is why this is happening so abruptly. They're pushing it so hard. And again, who's standing in the way? Who's stopping all that right now? It's Donald Trump. He's doing something that nobody else could have or even would have wanted to do. He said, "I'm going to fight for the people. No more, no more of these globalists or what do you call them? Career politicians." That's what he's talking about when you hear this talk about drain the swamp. He wants to put a limit on career politicians, on your politician. You can't be a politician forever for your life to because, yeah, power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts. Absolutely. So all these people that are in these high positions, they're the rules. They don't apply to us because they're the ones that are getting all the benefit of financial benefit of it all. We're paying our taxes. Where does it go? It goes to the government. What do they do with it? So remember the verse I spoke about prior as well. It was, and this is coming now. This is gonna make more and more sense as we get into this, and as you just open your eyes and see what's going on in the world. Remember the verse I talked about. Um, the love of money is the root of all evil. All this thing is happening because of the love of money. They want more money. They're willing to kill off half of the population for money. Everything that's going on, every evil thing that's going on up there in those higher powers, it's because of love of money. Now, to me, that's revelational knowledge. Now it comes, it's enlightening. Now God's speaking to me and saying, the love of money is the root of all evil. All the evil that's going on in the world today can be traced back to the love of money. And we're seeing it more and more clearly today more than ever. So, getting back to my original thought about this whole pandemic thing, we hear about vaccines. We've been hearing about vaccines that we're not safe until we get a vaccine, and they're not worried about, the government is not worried about our health. That's, again, it's the love of money is the root of all evil. They're wanting to push a vaccine that costs money so they can profit off it. The government has never been worried about the health of the people. Did you know today there is over 150 cures, natural cures for cancer? There is tons of cures for diabetes. Every disease out there, there is a natural cure that you do not need a vaccine, a medication, surgery, chemo, replacing your, all these drugs, surgery. Drugs and surgery, I believe, are never the answer. They are the last resort. We have the ability, with all that God's given us on this planet, to heal ourselves of every disease out there. So there is natural cures for cancer today. Why are we not hearing about it? Why is that not breaking news? And it's been discovered over and over and over. Like I said, there's over 150 today. Because the cancer industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry. They passed a law saying that you cannot cure any disease without drugs or surgery. Let's make that a law. That way Nobody can come up with these alternative ways of getting cured. Again, comes back to the love of money. It's all about the money. Not they're not concerned with our health. We know that. We we we've learned that. Um, why do you think everything that's being um, talked about that's beneficial to the pandemic, it's being shunned, it's being portrayed in the media like those guys are crazy because they're trying to push the vaccine. They're trying to profit off of this pandemic. So I'm going to show you some things. There's why. Four reasons we can trace it back to four reasons why we are sick and unhealthy. Okay, so let me show this here. The reasons you get sick are these. Okay, oh, wait, what was the prep? The prep for this was why. Okay, instead of pushing all these vaccines, medication, let's find a vaccine. Let's find a cure. We have not heard once in the mainstream media about how to stay healthy, how to fight, how come they're not teaching us how to keep our bodies healthy so we don't contract this disease? No, it's like whatever. Stay in your house and let us come up with the vaccine. Let's not allow the people to learn how to keep themselves healthy, how to build up their immune system, how to strengthen their bodies, their lungs, their liver. How about we teach them that? That way we can fight this pandemic off and we won't have to ruin our lives and economy in the world. Again, they're not concerned or worried about the health of the American people or any people for that matter. So, the reasons we get sick are you catch something, your body cannot fight it off, therefore you succumb to the germs. Say that's one way to get sick. Number two, your body develops something in the genetically weak areas of your body, and then you contract some kind of disease or cyst or growth or something. But those are the two ways that we're getting sick. In both of the above cases, causes are the same. Your immune system is weak, for one, and number two, toxins are attacking your body. We keep asking the question, what caused that? We can then conclude that all illnesses come from one or a combination of these four things. So we either catch something or our body develops something because our immune system is weak or because toxins in our body are attacking our body. The four causes that I believe of all diseases we can trace back to every disease going on in your body today. Number one, you have too many toxins in your body. We are so toxic today with the foods, the drinks, everything's artificial, everything's GMO, everything's plastic, everything's food coloring, everything's made to last forever. It's practically plastic. Everything in our body, our mainstream food source is, I believe, is toxic. Number two, you have nutritional deficiencies. Of course, if we're putting all these fake imitation stuff, so-called food in our body, then we're not getting our nutritional sources that our body needs to function. Number three, you're exposed and negatively affected by electromagnetic chaos. So electromagnetic chaos is going on all around us. We got Wi-Fi, we got cell phone, we got radio waves, we got TV waves, we have, what else do we have? We have microwaves, we have our smart everything, watch, car, phone, shoes, When we walk in our office, everything's electric lights, artificial lighting, um, dirty electricity in our house. Electromagnetic chaos disrupts our natural um, rhythm of the body. Number four, you have trapped mental and emotional stress. So, stress of any kind, mental, emotional, physical stress causes sickness and disease. So, I believe those are the four things that cause, that we can trace back to all sickness and disease. And if we can take care of those four things, I believe that we can become and live long, healthy lives. These are the only four reasons why your immune system could be weak, or why genetically weak areas in the body can break down, thus allowing illness and disease to develop. These four things can cause the body to be out of balance. We got to get our body back into balance. Um, and the last one, the too much toxins in your body can come down to this: what goes into our body. What are we putting into our bodies? Like I said, 90% of our food source out there is artificial, fake, um, uh, GMO, um, made to last forever, preservatives, colorings, dehydrated everything, plasticides, herbicides. We're putting all that in our body, and we wonder why we're sick. Number two, what comes out of the body? Are we okay? We're putting all these toxins in our body, but what comes out? Are we flushing ourselves? Are we doing our cleanses, our body cleanses, our full body cleanses, our liver cleanses, our colon cleanses? There's a cleanse for every part of your body, and you can get a whole body cleanse. What's coming out? What are we pushing out of our body? Are we just letting those toxins build up? Three, are we exercising? You gotta get that exercise. Get your heart pumping. Get your lungs breathing, expanding. Rest. Rest is always important. We got to rejuvenate our bodies. There's a there's a healing hour of rest, and it's between 11 and 2 o'clock, 11 p.m. and 2 o'clock in the morning. That's the healing hours. We got to sleep. You got to sleep within those hours. You got to be asleep. Can't be going to sleep at 2 o'clock in the morning every day and getting up um, in the middle afternoon, or even getting up to go to work at 6. You got to rest properly. Five, thoughts. Again, your thoughts toxic. What are you thinking? Um, what did the Bible say? Whatsoever things are pure, lovely, wholesome, think on these things. Um, Number six, what you say. The words you say affect you. Um, if you talk bad about a person, or for an example, if you're always talking down or bad, negative to your kids, it affects them. Their spirit breaks down. They begin to close up. They're not excited anymore. They don't have that love for life because they've been so beaten down emotionally. What you say. So again, and what you say to yourself, it's the same way. If you're always telling yourself, I'm not gonna, I can never do that, or I'm just dumb. Um, you know, our, the the traditional sayings like, "Oh, I die for that," or "You're gonna be the death of me." We're saying all these death and negative, and we're putting it on our lives, and we're wondering why we can't excel, or why we can't um, see the promises of God. Because again, God says what? Speak. What is the Proverbs 18 say, that the power of life, death, and life are in your tongue. Speak life. Speak life over yourself. Don't speak death. The power of life and death are in your tongue. That means your words they actually have life, or they actually have death. What are your words coming out of your mouth? So those are the things that we're not hearing. We're hearing about a vaccine, and that's supposed to save the day. A vaccine. Well, God says that He's given us everything on this earth for life and abundance, and we need to take advantage of that. Learn what you need to put in your bodies to stay healthy. Learn your body. Believe it or not, learn to listen to your body. Your body will tell you what you need. I said this in the past. If you're thirsty, your body's telling you you're thirsty, right? If you drink a soda and you're still thirsty, guess what? Your body's not asking you for a soda. It's asking you for something else. Um, if you feel, obviously, when you're hungry, your gut will tell you you're hungry. When things don't you when things don't seem right, you go to the doctor. The doctor says this is terminal, or there's nothing we can do about this. And if it doesn't set right with you, your body's telling you that that's a lie. So, and another thing, when the doctors say there's nothing we can do, it means there's nothing they could do with their medicines or vaccines that they have available. There's nothing they can do in that. Doesn't mean it's over. There's always a way. God always makes a way. And I'm gonna leave you with this last little story. So when I was learning about health and nutrition, there was a guy that contracted a heart valve. Something was wrong with this heart valve, and he passed out in his car. He didn't know why. He went to the doctor, Mayo Clinic, in fact, and they told him you have a heart valve problem. Um, it's incurable. There's nothing we could do. You won't live to be old. You won't live to be old, man. You're going to die prematurely because of this. It didn't set right with him. He went, because he was into nutrition, and he went to a different doc. He went to another guy that he knew. He said, he didn't tell him what was wrong. He said, I just came from the Mayo Clinic. I need a second opinion. I need you to tell me what's wrong with me. Didn't tell him anything about the heart or what the diagnosis was, anything. So the guy checked him out. He did, I forget the process, but he did something, I forget what it's called, but he did an electrical process on his hand through his fingers. And he said, yeah, you have a heart valve problem. And the guy goes, yeah, I know. That's the Mayo Clinic told me I had that, and that I didn't have a long life ahead of me, and it's incurable. He said, yeah, in America it's incurable. And he said, there's cures. He goes, but in America, they're not going to cure you in America, because it's all. And that's when he understood that the whole medical profession or organization was all about the money. They were not going to try to give him a way out. They were going to let him suffer with this so they can keep him on medication or whatever they planned on doing. And he said, from that point, I knew that it was all about the money. The medical field was all about the money. He went to Mexico, got a treatment, and he was cured. And that goes on all the time. When doctors cure things when doctors cure things that the medical world says label that as incurable, they lose their license. Some people even get kicked out of the country. Are you kidding me? For helping a person stay alive, I lose my license because I didn't do it with a vaccine or surgery. So that's one thing that I just want to share with you today. Again, this whole global reset, they want to take out the population. And again, one way to do it is to increase the number of vaccines and Just be aware. Learn your body. Learn how to stay healthy. Learn how to be healthy. Learn how to live healthy. Change your diet. Get those toxins out. Do a do a cleanse at least 2 or 3 times a year, and be healthy. Stay healthy. Be strong and courageous. Amen. And then pray. Pray, seek God, and just ask Him, what do I need to do, God? What is my way to healing? What is my path, way of health? Which way do I need to go? Direct me. So, um, I pray this was encouraging, helpful, insightful. But again, we'll keep studying what's going on in the world today concerning the end times and the final 7 years before Jesus Christ returns for His church. We're looking for that peace treaty. Remember, that peace treaty is what's going to trigger it all. All right. God bless you, and we'll see you next time.